Now, domestic violence is an epidemic affecting individuals in every community, regardless of age, economic status, race, religion, or nationality. And it continues to be one of the most chronically underreported crimes. Now, what's even worse is that the consequences of domestic violence can cross generations and truly last a lifetime. For these reasons alone, it is still crucial to continue to raise awareness around this major problem in society. This morning, we have the good fortune to be joined by a representative of one of the leading organizations in the Merrimack Valley that continues to rally around bringing the discussion to the forefront. Our next guest, Vilma Lora, is not only the co-director of Women's Services for the YWCA of Greater Lawrence, but she also serves on the Mayor's Task Health Force in Lawrence. Welcome to Revista.
Buenas. Hello. How
Good.
are you, Alberto?
How are you? I'm so glad you got up this morning. You look so beautiful in the morning.
You got to take time to take care of yourself.
Obviously, you did not go out last night, right?
No.
Well, I want to start off with, Vilma, the statistics. And I know I actually have heard you eloquently speak to these, but if we could put some of these up on, and you could elaborate at any point, because that's what really made me stop and look. 1 in every 4, right?
1 in every 4 women, yes.
And an estimated 1.3 million a year. And then I always ask what percentage are women, and I think I heard you one time saying, obviously, from 85% of the victims are women. So this is an issue that has some gender discussion around, right? Yes. And then the females who are most at risk are 20 to 24. And this is what got me. Most cases are never reported to police. Why is that?
Well, there's a lot of stigma associated with domestic violence. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of shame. The consequences sometimes are not as stiff as they should be.
And you mean the consequences in the criminal system?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, there are consequences. There are laws. We're very blessed that things have changed since, God knows, since the 1970s when they first implemented the whole restraining order, and there's still legislation around it. But the punishment, in my opinion, is not as strong as it should be. So it sort of sends this message that it's somewhat okay to abuse a woman or abuse your family. And women, and particularly Latina women, particularly women who are immigrants, things get a little more complex because now you're talking about immigration, you're talking about income. Once you lose that second person's income in the home, it's very difficult. You're talking about, pulling apart a family unit, which for us, Latinos, that's very important. Family is very centric. So there are so many reasons why it is so hard to report it. And the people love their batterer. People love the person that's abusing them. What they want them is for them to stop.
Right. So it seems like it's a very complicated issue from many different angles. You talk about social, economic, and the well-being of a family. Up in Lawrence, you guys have obviously been one of the leading organizations. How have you seen any progress in the community in terms of its awareness and dealing with it over the last couple of years? Have you seen more women coming to it? And even more men being more self-reflective about this? Absolutely.
I think that what we've done over the years is really talk about, it's okay to talk about this. When something is so prevalent, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 women, it's a victim of domestic violence, of course you want to talk about this. So I think the education, the awareness, and also sort of moving it beyond sort of the individual, beyond just, this is a woman's issue, but framing it differently. This is a social justice issue. This is a public safety issue, a public health issue. And I think that has taken sort of a different approach. Now everybody sort of works together to talk about this issue. There's less stigma associated with it. And the fact that we see more women, you will think that the problem is worse, but actually it means that people are getting the information and people are looking for help. Yeah. So just in our court system alone, Lawrence, it's among the 5 top courts in the state when it comes to filings of restraining order. We always lay between the 3rd and 5th place. Last year alone, we assisted 900 individuals. So I have to have 2 court advocates at court Monday through Friday just to assist with that. When it comes to sheltering families, which is the most difficult part, you think about why people don't report it. Talk about, leaving everything that's known to you, your whole support system, and going into hiding with your children in a place that you don't know, living behind your job, living behind your family. So when women or people or men, because sometimes men are also victims, decide to leave to shelter, there's hardly any space. So the money that we spend just placing women and families into hotels, motels, and eventually shelters, it's ridiculous. And that doesn't even touch the subject of sexual assault, which is really really closely linked to domestic violence, given that 75% of all the rapes are committed by someone the victim knows.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that. And again, coming back to kind of raising awareness and really making the whole community aware of, you guys are also involved in an event which hopefully you'll have a platform of over 10,000 people at one of the most, iconic venues. You've got the Fenway Park Family Festival coming up in August 10th, and I see the little purple. Is that the color of domestic violence?
Yes,
because there's an event around it. And how did that partnership come about? Is it because of the 3 women who are headlining? I mean, I guess that's kind of how it came together, right?
Actually, we are really, really happy that we have worked with you and El Mundo for so long. And I think that this year is so unique. And I thought sort of things are aligning because you have the whole thing around, Jared Remy. And I think that has, unfortunately, because of what happened, has sort of raised awareness to a way higher level with the legislation. So I think the media has a huge role to play to help us sort of frame this differently, to really shift the public agenda, to shift it away from, this is a women's issue, but let's talk about this. This is a family issue. Our whole community and our whole society is affected by it. So having 10,000 people and having that commitment to sort of help us promote this and working with a coalition against sexual assault and domestic violence, there's about 60 member programs that are going to be represented there. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to say, you know what, this is not just us saying it. It's the media saying it. It's these famous women who have gone through, like any other women, through difficult times who are saying it. So I think it's going to be a different message.
All right. Well, for more information, I'm going to put up the information for your organization, which does a lot of great work. I want to thank you for waking up so early this morning. But there it is, one of my favorite places in Lawrence, 38 Lawrence Street, YWCA of Greater Lawrence. Congratulations to you and all the wonderful work. And I'll definitely see you at Fenway Park on August 10th.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Vilma, muchas gracias.